Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. I have another birthday tag. This is from Nicki. Thank you so much, Nicki. I got it. It's got a little beat up, I think. When they put them through those sorting machines, I think they just get real beat up. But anyways, I wanted to tell you guys, if you are wanting to send me a tag, because I've had a couple of people say, oh, I want to send you a tag. I'm not going to put my address on my YouTube channel, but if you contact me on my Etsy shop where it says contact seller, and you'll see like a round circle with a picture of me in it. Just click on that and let me know that you want my address and I'll send it to you that way. I just don't want to post it for, you know, everybody in the world to see. So anyways, this is from Nicki. And so I want to open it without messing anything up if I can here. Trying to feel for where stuff is located. If I keep it real skinny. Oh my goodness, my hands. Not cooperating. Okay. I'm always very cautious. I don't want to cut through stuff, you know. Come now, little thing. And try not to turn the envelope over too. Oh wow, it is really in there. We have to kind of do this type of thing. Sorry, Nicki, I was trying not to completely destroy it, but it doesn't want to come out of there. There we go. I think it was the, you know, cardboard she put in to keep it safe. So great idea, because that definitely helps and that can be used. This is awesome. Oh my goodness. I just love your guys' tags. They're just so cute. I love it. This is a washi along here and some old book page or a music page in a different language. And then cardstock with the little, I think they're called stickles. I'm not really sure, but those little shiny squeeze dots, you know. And doily and the 50, and love the happy birthday, some lace, and she's put the little stickles all the way across there. That is so cool. All right. Okay, so this is fine to show. Have personal freedom. Symbolizes regeneration, kindness, and grace. Oh, so cute. I love these Tim Holtz funny birds and cats and all that he does. So nice. Thank you so much, Nicki. I so appreciate you guys for doing this. It's going to be really fun to put this little tag book together and have it, you know, for always. So I thank you so much. And like I said, anybody else that wants to send me a tag, just contact me on my Etsy shop. And now on to the video. Love you guys. Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. I have a new digital. It's called Whimsical. Is anybody else singing Olivia Newton-John in their head right now? Anyway, it is all Victorian ladies and gentlemen and a few kids that are on different types of Victorian exercise machinery. And they're just kind of funny because they're all dressed in their, you know, he's got a suit on and the dresses and all. And yeah, they're just kind of hilarious. I think they'd be super fun and collage and that type of thing. So, which you guys saw the collage, if you saw the collage that I did for Marguerite Miller using one of these. And these are just all different types of exercise things from that era. So, yeah, I just thought these ones really crack me up. Like, they're like meant to be like riding a horse. This one. They look like torture devices, but, you know, I mean, exercise torture kind of goes together. Anyway, 3 pages. It's not a big one, just kind of a fun little something if you're looking for some fun photographs to, like, maybe do a tag book or something like that. So what we're going to do today is make some little paper flowers. I just was playing around and you know, kind of made one of these just to see how it would go, and it was fun, so I thought you guys might enjoy making them too. This is a little break from the frog journal because, you know, that's good to do sometimes. So what you're going to need is a pair of scissors, like a hole punch, regular size. That's how I got these little circles on here and in the center. And I have some collage boards here that I just did. A lot of these are papers from spattering or the jelly plate, or you know, old paper. This is that digital that I have. That's the finger paint that we did a while back. This is an actual piece. This isn't the digital. This is the same thing. But anyways, just all different, whatever kind of papers you want. Spattered, painted, watercolored, you know, or you can just use like scrapbook paper too. You don't have to use that. And then I also have a piece of paper that I collaged a bunch of like neutral papers like this and music page. I don't know that you can see them on there. You might be able to a little bit. I just wanted it to have, once I cut them out, to have a little texture. And then I just glued a piece of green tissue paper over the top. So that's all that is. I just wanted a real kind of a contrast from the collage to the stem. I felt like if I could have done this like a green collage, but I felt like it would start to get too busy. So that's why I chose to do just the tissue paper kind of thing. And then for the little centers, this yellow part here, I have this paper that's just got iridescent paint all over it. And I actually put a little bit more because it was just in a few spots like here and here. I went ahead and covered the whole thing so that I could keep using it. And it's just some Arteza iridescent color paint that I have, and this particular color is yellow. And this is just on a spatter sheet or a drop cloth or whatever you want to call it. It's a piece of deli paper. So yeah, so those are just kind of fun to do out of, you know, collage fodder. So all I have done, oh, I know what else you will need is like some kind of circle cutters, either like these. Yes, I have the ancient cutters and I like them, so I keep using them. Punches, you know, whatever you have to make a circle. You can draw around a jar or cup or whatever. You just need some circles. So I think I want to kind of do a big one just to try it on a big one. And plus it might be a little bit easier to see if it's in larger scale. So how y'all doing? Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm not to the weekend yet. It is Thursday for me, but you know, trying to film ahead. And I wanted to let you guys know that, like I said, next week is my birthday. And I thank you all so much for doing the tag challenge. And there's no end. Like if you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't done it yet, don't worry about it. Like if you still want to send me a tag, you are welcome to. What else? What was I going to say? Oh, my husband and I are going to go on a little vacation. We are leaving on the 5th. So just so you all know, videos may be slight for a bit. Probably next week I'll do today, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday videos this week. And then the next week, I'm not sure yet. Because it's just going to depend on when we get back, how much I get done before I go. You know, there's just a lot of things that go into that. So, yeah, it's not a perfect situation. But you guys are awesome. And I know that you'll understand my predicament. And then as soon as I can, I will be making videos regularly again. Hopefully, I will be able to get enough done that you won't really notice that much. So, that's the goal. But life is, right? Okay, so I have my circle, and what you have to kind of do, and if you struggle doing this, like, you kind of want to imagine a circle in the center, you know, somewhere in the center to stop, because you're not obviously going to cut all the way through, and I'm sure you can already imagine what I'm going to do, but just in case you aren't great maybe at visualizing that without something being there. I'm trying to find something small enough to make a circle. Oh, I'll just do it by hand. It's just to sort of give you a reference spot. So let's pretend that's the center, which it's not, but it doesn't matter. And then, so I'm going to cut into this to that point and stop. And then I'm going to come over a little bit, and I want to kind of keep these a little bit straight if I can. I mean, obviously they're going to have to angle. Like you can see, they're fatter on the outside than the inside, and that's just sort of the way it goes. And they don't have to be perfect, so don't stress about, oh my gosh, that one's not right. But you want to obviously try to leave enough here at the attachment point so it's not too skinny. So I leave one attached, and then the next one very thinly or widely, however you want, because you can see on my little flower that sometimes I cut out a bigger piece, you know, just to, I don't know, give you some difference, because flowers aren't perfect if you look at them. I mean, they're close, but a lot of them, but they're not perfect. And then I'm gonna cut again, and I can make this one wider if I want. And then I'm gonna cut a little bit smaller piece, and all that does, instead of just cutting all the way around and having like a fray kind of thing, it just gives you a little bit more of a petal feel instead of a frayed fringe kind of a look, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, that is what we're doing today. I know, super super hard and exciting, right? But I just was playing around with paper, and I discovered that this was kind of a fun thing to do. You know, maybe you've already done it and you're like, yeah, who hasn't done that? But I haven't, so I'm going to do a little bit wider one to cut out. So you can see on this one, I'm going wider at the top and real skinny at the bottom. That way it just comes out, you know, much more of a wedge than the ones that are staying attached. So that's what we're going to keep doing. And some of them end up a little wonky, but by the time you get all the petals done and spattered and the little dots glued on and all that kind of stuff, it's like it's not that noticeable if they're a little off. And like I said, they don't have to be perfect anyway. It's kind of the fun of it. And you could make the stem shorter, you know, if you were using them in a collage or something and you just didn't want this great big long stem. You don't have to have that. So what y'all been up to? I've just been scurrying around like a chicken with my head cut off like usual. I don't know why I always feel that way, but I do. But I'm excited because my kids are almost done with school. Well, I'm not that excited for my son, only because that means he's that much closer to moving out. But, you know, moms, that's what we do. I mean, I'm happy that he's doing well and moving on to the next phase. It's just always hard, as y'all know. So yeah, I'm excited for him though. He's really excited, so that's awesome. I'm very pleased that he's excited to continue on in school and such, because I know that, you know, it's not for everybody. I mean, a lot of people don't go on, and nor do they have to. We need people to do different stuff, you know. So, and it's all important to the world. I think we don't put enough emphasis on the importance of trades because, honestly, you know, we can't live without electricians and, you know, the things that you take for granted. But then if nobody's trained in that, one of Theron's friends is going to go to school for a trade. And I was like, that's excellent. Like, you'll probably be, you know, very happy that you did that. So yeah, good stuff. So this will probably be like watching paint dry. So I'm, you know, go ahead and feel free to fast forward. You're not going to like hurt my feelings or whatever. Most people don't watch most of the video anyway. I know there are some of you, and I know. Because you always tell me, I always watch the whole thing, and I thank you. You are awesome, because that really does help me. But also, if you don't always feel like watching all of it, which I understand, we all have lives, if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, if you like what you see, of course. And then that way, that really helps the algorithms for YouTube. And by that, I mean, like, it makes my videos pop up more often if there's more likes and subscribed people, because then they see it as, you know, an interest. People like it, so we're going to recommend it to other people. So if you don't mind doing that, that really does help all YouTubers, a whole bunch. So yeah, that would be very awesome if you can like and subscribe. I mean, a lot of you obviously are already subscribed, and thank you so much for that. And welcome to new subscribers, and welcome back to subscribers who have been with me. Can't do what I do without you guys, so I really do appreciate all of you. New and not so new. Because definitely could not do this job without all of you. Okay, so I think that's good. Now I turn it over to the fun side. Oops, that is not wanting to stay. That needs to be glued a little better. It, where is my, oh, it's over here. Hold on just a second. I always have to forget something. I can't ever get over here with everything. If I would stop doing projects over at the other table, it would probably help, but I kind of like that table because I have a little more room. Okay, this is a collage like I mentioned, so that little bit just didn't get very glued right there, which happens sometimes with collage boards. So I'm just gonna bring it back up and hopefully it will want to stay. I do like the way that turned out. See, won't that be a fun flower? I think so. I might clip this one apart a little more just because I feel like, I don't know, it's real fragile. I'm gonna leave it because I'm worried that it'll just kind of fall apart if I do that. And then what you do is take your little hole punch and try to find maybe a colorful part of your paper or a opposite part of your paper. Like maybe up here I want colorful and maybe down here we want more of like the neutral tones. And you're just going to punch a bunch of holes. And you don't have to put one of these little circles on every single, I want to get some of this blue. Every single one of the petals. I mean, you don't have to do it at all. If you're like, I think those look kind of stupid, then don't do them. You don't have to do that. It's just a little something to add more to it. But if you don't like it, don't do it. That's what I say. Okay. So then I dump them all out. And I don't know if I'll have enough. I might have to come back and punch some more. But yeah, the cool thing about this project is if you're a beginner, this is something that hopefully, I mean, most people probably have most of these things. You know, a hole punch, maybe something to cut a circle, or like I said, trace around a cup and use that for your circle. So yeah, hopefully it's something that's kind of easy to make happen. And then, you know, you're just cutting, you could even just cut this out of green paper. You don't have to have the collaged paper at all. You could just, like I said, make these out of scrapbook paper. You might have some scrapbook paper that you're using to make a journal and you're like, oh, I want one of those flowers out of scrapbook paper. So do it. This was just how I decided to do it. I have a project in mind coming up. It may be a bit with the going on vacation and whatnot, but I'm working on something so that I think will be fun. And some I put like further out on the little tip. Oi, let's not glue it to the, and some, you know, further in. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Let's do it before I forget more. You don't, I don't want to necessarily have them all the same length. So what I did on this one is I just went in and like cut some of them shorter. But if you like them all long, then definitely do that. Leave them long. I'm going to cut quite a bit off this one, I think. Oh, now the ones that I glued the dots on already, obviously I'm not really going to be able to cut those a whole lot. That was the step I was forgetting. I felt like I was forgetting something, and I was. So yeah, this just, you know, gives you a little more interest so they don't just look like, you know, I don't know, windmills or something. I don't want to cut that one because I like that blue. So I'm not gonna. Okay, yeah, I like that a little better. A little more interest anyway. Put this on here. This is a nice bright one. So yes, hopefully this is pretty much accessible to everybody. Methinks. Sorry, I'll probably get quiet because I'm concentrating. It's really hard for me to glue these little dots down on the ends. Pretty bad, right? Sad days, as my daughter would say. It was so nice yesterday. It was like in the 70s and just beautiful out. And then today it's back to being kind of cold and yucky. I mean, the sun's shining now, but it's supposed to rain on and off all day. So crazy in the spring, isn't it? It's just the weather is all over the place. All over the place. I kind of want some more colorful ones. Am I out of color? Oh, that one's colorful. I'm going to put it up at the very tippy top of that. I mean, yes, these are not realistic flowers, but quite often when we're doing collage fodder and those type of things, stuff is not very realistic, right? It's sort of like abstract faces and things like that. Oops, let's go over here. It doesn't have to be realistic. And if you struggle with that, that's fine, you know. You can try to make them look a little bit more like a flower that actually exists. Because it's understandable. I know I tend to do that kind of stuff too, where I'm like, oh, that doesn't look real. It's like, it's okay, it doesn't have to. Where do I want another one? Maybe a little one right there. Well, they're all the same size, right? And if you have other size, like smaller punches that would work, those would be fun too, to do like a little bit bigger bobble, but that's all I've got, so that's what I'm using. And then we're going to punch some golden centers. If you can hold your punch right, Amy. And I do about 4, 5, whatever looks right. This one's a little bigger, so it might need 5. That's still a tiny bit wet, because like I said, I added a little more paint because I wanted more. Okay, where'd you go? I only see 4. One's hiding somewhere. Little stinker. Doesn't want to get used. Okay. Oh. So this is just deli paper, so it's really pretty thin. But again, these you could do in any color, type of paint. You can use paint, ink. Like for the spattering on this, I used that Winsor and Newton silver, and I also used white ink, but paint, you know, acrylic paint works, so don't think, oh, well, I don't have that, so it won't work. You can do it however you like. Don't feel like you can't. And I think I might want one more to go sort of centrally. Okay. And then another thing I did was, oh, I guess I could cut my stem first and let those dry, and then I'll show you. So I just free-handed the stem. If you have trouble, you could draw it, like draw one, get a template, and then draw more. You know, it's up to you, obviously. But if you feel like, I don't think I can do that, then I'm just going to kind of cut down to here. That big old green thing is kind of wow. So I'm just kind of looking at it and trying to see, maybe I see and you can cut them all different. They don't need to be the same. So like if you don't want to make a template, like I'm not making a template, just wing it. Kind of like the mushrooms is where I was going when I started this project. I wanted it to sort of be like those mushrooms where you're just doing your thing, you know? Because you could sit down and just make a bunch of these. They'd be fun. They'd be fun to sit and watch TV and just fiddle with. Because you really just need the whatever paper you're going to use and scissors and, you know, the punches and whatever. But even if you punched everything first and then just sat and put the flowers together. Okay, so it needs ink in my opinion, but if you don't like to ink, don't ink. I especially like the ends of the petals to have a little bit. And then this I just kind of rubbed all over because it's, you know, just mostly, I mean, there is paper under there. You can't see it very well. So it's basically just the tissue. You could probably just do the tissue. You don't have to do the paper underneath. I was just hoping you'd be able to see a little more. If you had a lighter tissue paper, that would probably be better for seeing anything underneath. But if you have this dark kind of color like I have, I wouldn't even bother. Because it doesn't show. Okay, so let's glue our stem on. Try to figure out how I want it so that, because you're going to have to obviously kind of glue the center to it. And then you can decide if you want the leaf to come on top or under. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's there. Okay, and where did I put my pen? So I came back and you can see the little black dots. I added little and kind of went around the circles. Just, I mean, this is super loose because, you know, I got my shaky hands. I'm not drawing super perfect lines at all. And you don't have to. Or you can skip this also. That one just wants to glue to the table. And then I just kind of went around the leaves, and you can't see this very well because these leaves are already dark. But I kind of do some leaf lines. It's just nice to put in any details, even if they're not perfect, because it just adds something to the overall effect. Like, you know what I mean? Just gives it some interest, right? Okay, so now I'm going to spatter it with some ink. And yes, these do take a minute to make. Hold on just a second. left that over at the other table too. So see, I have, there's already some gold ink on here from when I made the original papers. But this is Winsor and Newton silver. And then I have Winsor and Newton white. You could use any color you like. Or, like I said, acrylic paint works great too. Just water it down so it's a little thin. And it'll spatter great. The metallic ones you have to shake quite a bit more. Like the white one's not too bad, but the silver and the gold especially, gold has a lot of whatever they use. The gold gets kind of clumped at the bottom. The silver's not as much, but just know you do need to stir them. They separate. And then we just spatter. And some of the spots of white on the green tissue paper did turn kind of color, you know, as they're going to do. And I'm just going to do this because this can get used in collage fodder on something else. I'm just going to use a different brush, which will be faster. You could do black. I just didn't want to do too much black on it, but definitely you could. Oh my gosh. I can't ever get the lid off of that one. It gets stuck. I need to clean the inside of the lid and stuff a little more. There's already some white on this paper, but to me, adding these spatters, especially the white, gives it kind of like a sun-kissed look. You know what I mean? That shimmery shininess in the summer. That's kind of what I think it does. All right. So yeah, I think those are super fun. So have fun and make yourself a bunch. And later, after it dries, I'll probably, you know, see how these petals are up and down and all that. You just kind of do this sort of thing to them and they'll stick out. That's if you want them to. If you don't want them to, don't bother, and then it's nice and flat to go in your journal or whatever. But anyway, I thought those were fun, and I thought you guys might want to see them. Because you don't need a whole lot of things that you may not have, you know. You could even, where's my, I don't know if it's going to work because this is wet. But you could go around here a little bit more. Just do like some lines. Like, you know, in the middle of a flower, how there's how well you guys can see that. So yeah, there it is. I hope you make some, and I would love to see them if you do. I'm on Instagram. I'm CraftyCat72. Sorry, I had to think about that. CraftyCat72, and it's all lowercase, the letters. All right, so I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you again soon. Love you guys. Bye.